blast from the past. Remember when you laughed.
Hi there, and welcome to Big Kids TV Podcast, the podcast where we dust off the best and sometimes weirdest kid shows from back in the day. Today, we're stepping into the mysterious, magical, and slightly bonkers world of Willo the Wisp. If you remember this one, you're in for a treat. And if you don't, well, buckle up, because Doyley Wood is full of oddball characters, crazy adventures, and one of the best voice performances in British animation history. So grab your tea, grab your biscuits, and let's dive in. First hitting our screens in 1981, Willo the Wisp was created by writer and director Nick Spargo. The idea actually started way back in 1975 as a short animated film for British Gas. Yes, really, British Gas. People loved it so much that it eventually turned into a full-blown TV series, produced by Nicholas Cartoon Films with the BBC and Tellytale Enterprises. Set in the enchanted and slightly odd Doyle Woods, based on a real beach woodland in Oxfordshire, the show had a simple, charming animation style that felt like a mix of bedtime stories as well as a bit of a trippy dream. But what truly made Willo the Wisp stand out was the fact that every single character was voiced by the legendary Kenneth Williams. If you've never heard his voice before, imagine someone who would go from posh and snooty to whiny and grumpy in about half a second. He gave each character their own hilarious personality, making the show as much fun for adults as it was for kids. Now, Doyle Wood is a home to some of the most bizarre and lovable children's characters in kids' TV history. So let's meet the gang. Willo the Wisp, our narrator and floating blue spirit, based on the old folk legend of the Willo the Wisp. He's got a gossipy streak and a knack for storytelling. And he also happens to look suspiciously like Kenneth Williams himself. Mavis Cruet, a well-meaning but slightly useless fairy, where her magic doesn't always work. Arthur the Caterpillar, a grumpy, Cockney-accented caterpillar who's always moaning about something. But deep down, he's got a heart of gold. Evil Edna, a witch who also happens to be a television set. She zaps people with her aerials and generally makes life miserable for everyone. Car Wash, a fancy, glasses-wearing cat who's way too posh for his own good. The Moog, a lovable but completely useless dog-like creature who spends most of his time looking confused. The Beast, a prince who was cursed by Evil Edna and turned into a hairy monster. He's huge, but actually super gentle. Now this one I always struggle saying. The Astronauts, a team of space exploring bugs who zoom around in a toadstool ship. Because, well, why not? Twit, a tiny bird who's not the sharpest beak in the nest. A few more quirky characters that you can find in Doyle Woods are the Bookworm, Toy Soldiers, as well as the Gnomes. Each episode of Willo the Wisp was about 5 minutes long, perfect for a quick laugh before the evening news. Some of the standout episodes include The Wishbone, where the Moog finds a magic wishbone, and being a simple soul, wishes for something totally ridiculous. The ability to think. And as you can imagine, chaos soon follows. Games with Edna. Arthur somehow gets his hands on a video game controller that lets him control Evil Edna. Cue some well-deserved payback. There was also a Halloween episode called Halloween. Typically, it's Edna's birthday, and everyone has to pretend they're thrilled about it. The Chrysalis, where Arthur gets a chance to become a moth, and, well, let's just say it doesn't go as planned. And we also have the Christmas episode called Christmas Box, which was a festive episode where Arthur and Mavis try to save Santa from Evil Edna's evil tricks. With just 26 episodes in the original run, every single one was packed with witty dialogue, surreal moments, and hilarious voice work. In 2005, Willo the Wisp was brought back for a new generation. This time it was produced by Nick Spargo's daughter, Bobby Spargo, and featured James Dreyfus as the voice of all the characters. The show got a slight makeover. Willo the Wisp no longer looked like Kenneth Williams, and Mavis was a little bit slimmer. Evil Edna also had an upgrade into a widescreen TV. The revival aired on Playhouse Disney and introduced the magic of Doyley Wood to a whole new audience. Even though it was short-lived, Willo the Wisp has remained a cult classic. The series has been released on both VHS and DVD, and most recently in a 2024 Blu-ray collection that includes both the original and revived series, plus the original 1975 Supernatural Gas short film. There have also been books, puzzles, an LP, and even some rare collectible figurines. For fans of classic British humour, this show is a must-watch. It is a little weird, it is a little wacky, but it is completely unforgettable. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Big Kids TV Podcast. Did you grow up watching Willo the Wisp? Do you have a favourite character or episode? Let us know on social media. We love hearing about your memories. And if you haven't seen it before, now's the perfect time to check it out. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into the world of classic kids TV.